right. Hey Doc, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
You was in the groove, right?
I was. I like that little yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's dynamite. But welcome everyone to Perspective. And as we do, what is our platform about? And we'll get right into it. It's found right there in the name, Perspective. This is a safe place, a safe tree, if you will, to discuss different views, different opinions, different lived experiences. Um, and we think that it's important to do so. And we understand that people have differing stances on things. And what that means, it doesn't mean that because you have a different stance, different experience, opinion, point of view on something, doesn't mean that you're right and the opposite side is wrong, or you're wrong and the opposite side is right. It simply means that it's different. And whenever we can discuss our differences in a safe, mature way, I'll say that, we'll come to find that we most likely have more in common than we do against each other, and that actually brings us closer together. And when we come closer together, that makes us stronger, a better community, and that's what we aim to do here on Perspective. So, with that being said, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Eric Butler, aka the Intellect, aka Cullinan 8, because I'm the biggest diamond ever found on land, aka the Atlantic, because I'm cold, deep, and choppy, and ain't nothing nobody can do about it. Um, Normally, I go through a litany of things that I'm a part of, but really, I'm in the community with a financial literacy program. It's a nonprofit called the Empower Series. That has allowed me an opportunity to kind of get out in the community to engage in some consulting and speaking opportunities. I've been in talent acquisitions for about 18 years, so that gives me a lot of impact with people, helping them on career consulting and what I like to call the author of win-win situations. I bring great talent with great opportunities, and that's even in the professional world and on the personal side. So that's a little bit about that. You'll find out more about me by going back and looking at some of our past shows and listening to this show. And with that being said, I am accompanied by let's say, a special entity. They bring a lot to the table. They are unmatched. They are often copied, but never duplicated. And I'll let my co-host introduce themselves.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for being here because we know that you could be anywhere, but you have decided to be here and we appreciate you. So, welcome to Perspective. My name is Latoya, aka Chef Jeff's wife, aka them kids' mama. I am a licensed professional counselor and author, and I am a podcaster. I really
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
days. Yeah, to learn more about me, hit the other shows. Follow me on Instagram. That's where all the business is. So all the things.
Did you mention say more about that?
Say more about that is my podcast. It is audio only. It is on all the streaming services. So Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Apple, all the places. It's even on Podbean because my mama didn't want to give Spotify her email address. It's called Say More About That with Latoya the Therapist. It's really good. It's my little baby.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
And she did mention she was Chef Jeff's wife. And I think it's Tuesdays at 5:30. If you go into the
Tuesdays at
BSP
5:30.
network, you will be able to see this dope cooking show with Chef Jeff on there. And I promise you won't be disappointed, and it will give you some kudos. So if you're somebody who, you just cook to survive, he's going to put a little flair on it. He's going to give you the blow by blow, so you'll know how to make some dishes and maybe impress some people and won't get talked bad about when you go to the next family gathering or pot, pot luck, and maybe get some kudos. So definitely tune in and check that out. As we, what we've started to do, and we're just going to let you know, hey, viewers, if you would, man, do us a solid favor and hit the like button. If you would, definitely, we invite you to interact. It's very important. One of the things we don't realize is that our lived experiences, our opinions, our thoughts, things that we bring to the table, many times will help others. Sometimes quietly and in secret, and then sometimes you'll find out that what you've been through can help anybody else. So don't shy away from sharing your thoughts and your comments. We try to keep it positive, but this is perspective. You have your own, you welcome. And so it's the old age moniker. If you can dish it, be ready to take it. You know what I'm saying? We all come, Doc and I come across as pretty docile and pretty square edged individuals. So, say. So, with that being said, we're kind of going to get into the topic, and I think it'll be important. Not sure where it may lead to. We don't put any boundaries on where the conversation goes. So, whatever point you may have, and whatever it may bring, a thought it may bring to you, please feel free to share it in the comments section. So, um, we'll read the title right tonight. What we're going to talk about is family, friends, and family, the dynamics of relationships. So, I think
Hold
sometimes.
on.
Go ahead, Doc.
Before we get started, let me give y'all a disclaimer. I am a therapist, not your therapist, unless there is paperwork and a payment method in place. Eric and I will be speaking from our education, our lived experiences, and things that have happened, that we've just been a part of or around or seen. We are not talking about our current life situation unless we actively say, this is my current life situation. We are not talking about our current life situation. And nobody called us and told us your business beforehand. We are all having a human experience, okay? And we also know that your homegirl, sister, cousin had the same experience and it worked out so well for her. And we love that for her. We're just not talking about her, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Back
Thanks,
to you.
Doc. Because I'm gonna tell you, and we have to put that out. Because I tell you, there are conversations we have, comments, or retorts, replies, and some of you may have or may not have experienced that. You sitting in the pew, and it sounds like he talking directly to you. It happens on here. It happens on here. So don't take it personal. As Doc said, we ain't nobody followed you. Ain't nobody went on your TikTok, your clock, or anything else. It
Come on,
sometimes it
Bob.
just lands. Sometimes it just lands like that. You know what I'm saying? So, Doc, friends and family, dynamics of relationships. Let's get into it.
It's gonna be a little tricky because I don't view family how
Let's get it.
everybody else views
That's why.
family.
That's
So
why we.
I'm
That's why we
personally
have the
excited to
discussion.
have the conversation. So you know how I feel about definitions. Let's make sure everybody's on the same page. So when we are talking about relationships, right? Relationships is just the way that like two or more people are connected. That's it. How are we connected? It could be we are co-workers and that's our relationship. It could be we're in love and we have a romantic relationship. It could just be you my homie and it's very platonic. So it's just two or more people being connected. That's what we mean when we say relationship. You agree with that
Absolutely.
definition?
Yeah. And it kind of describes that. And we're talking about the dynamics. That'll be really the core of the conversation because being a friend is a type or a form of a relationship. So it's just they're all under that umbrella. And then we'll dig into some of the more specifics about friends and family. And most importantly, how they impact you overall. So, Doc, I got a few questions. Of course,
Let's
I'm
do
going to
it.
compile them and or speaking points, I would say. So when we're talking about those type of relationships, especially with friendships, and then family relationships, so they're not one and the same, but separate. But with friendships, I think the key points are that they're chosen relationships, while family relationships are, of course, you tied by, blood bonds and things like that. I know that can, I don't want to bust open the bag, you know what I mean? Because when I think of friends and family, um, because you can have a family member that's a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have a friend that you function with and feel like they're family.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it gets tied in because I don't want to just pull it out and say, man, because to me, family, and I'll let you redirect me. When people talk about family, they talk about the blood ties, right? And then you hear that blood is thicker than water. And then you hear that, and then there's this moniker that I've seen that when it comes to family, like all other things are off the table, right? And you got to do anything for family. You must stick with your family. Your family always has your best interest at heart, and it's this concept of always sticking with your family. And I will come out and say that my experience has been that that's not always the case.
So I'm with you. I don't subscribe to that definition of family. I don't. Okay, stay with me. I am not a person who believes that just because two people had sex and we share some form of DNA, that you have to be in my life. I don't believe that. I don't believe that just because we got the same grandmama, we are destined to be friends, or that I have to show up for you, or that you have to show up for me. Because let's be clear, I don't dish out anything that I can't take. So I just don't get jiggy with that, because I feel like people will do you dirty and then look you in your face and be like, oh, but come on, cousin. Okay, come on, sister. Like,
Yeah,
I just don't, just because somebody had sex in some kind of way, we got to be related, then that's what we are. We are related. Like, okay, that's my cousin. But I don't believe in that. You got to do this because that's your mama. You got to do this because I don't believe in that. That's
yeah,
dumb to me.
I think it's a real bad problem
Yeah.
when it comes to friendships and relationships. No matter how, when it comes to relationships, no matter how you are tied together, either as a family member or as a friend, circumstance that we came together and we've been cool. The thing is, relationship is earned at the end of the day. If reciprocity has not been introduced, if it's not a constant elixir within the drink of relationship, then it to me it's poison. So and it's not going to happen. So I don't care if you're a mom with a child with your brother, a sister with your niece or your aunt, whatever that combination is, that relationship that you have has to be earned. And so, Doc, you can
So I
definitely.
don't know about that. I don't know about earning, because my children live at my house for free. They don't earn nothing. But that's my family. I'm gonna take care of them.
Mhm.
So I don't know about that earn specifically. I think you mean for like adults. If you're saying for adult relationships, I'm with you. But I don't know that I think it's earned. I think it's chosen. I think that we choose who to be in relationship with. And I
Mhm.
think when we subscribe to this idea that family over everything, blood is thicker than water, I'm your cousin, rah, 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 we leave room for abuse, and we leave room for manipulation, and we leave room for negativity. And I don't enjoy that. So, like, just because you're my cousin doesn't really mean anything to me if we don't have a relationship.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
if our
So
only relationship is because we used to hang out when we was 8 because our mamas and sisters and they was hanging out, then do we really have a relationship? Because I'm a little past 8 now.
no, I absolutely agree in that aspect. And there's a couple of things you said that I'd like to respond to. Initially, you said, well, nothing has to be earned with your children because they live in your house for free. And
Free.
when I talk about earn, I mean by treatment, not not by anything tangible like money, but I mean by the fact that how you treat each other. Your children, they treat you with respect, but you have earned that respect because I believe you treat your children with respect, which can become in the form of love and taking care of them, making sure they have the necessities of life. There is no abuse going on. You're giving them that guidance, and you just want to make them the best versions of themselves. So when you do that, that's going to be reciprocated by the children with respect, with love, of course. Protection comes into play, be it your reputation. If you was a good mother or a good father to your children, and you get in that adolescence, high school range, fighting words was your mama. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you had a mama that was trash and didn't do that and was horrible, somebody be like, your mama. I'd be like, yeah, her too. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could be in that way. So when I talk about the children adult dynamic in that way, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But you hit the nail on the head as far as adults it's the treatment of that. And you do, your children, let's talk about so in that point, say on the children, when they get older, you still have to treat them, even in their teenage, as you see them develop, there's a certain level of autonomy you have to provide, or respect you have to provide as they develop their interests, their likes, or their perspectives, to plug a word. So I'm thinking in that format, or is that off kilter?
No, I think that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll work. So
We got our
so
first
that's what I meant by the word earn.
Okay.
So, and then there's, varying levels of intimacy involved in each type of relationship. So, like with friendships, often they're characterized by voluntary emotional closeness. So we get to choose, as you said. And then with family relationships, people say they're involved in a deeper sense of obligation and history, which is what I was pointing on. And I don't know. I think it's a good thing. You want to have community. You want to have some commonality with your family, because family will, because you do have examples of family that stick together very tight. They support one another, and a a three-strand cord is stronger than just one, right? And you would hope you could develop that with family, but you definitely can develop that with friendships as well. And just that moniker that if I am not treating you with respect, if I'm not pouring positivity into your life, but the fact that we're connected by blood, you still have this obligation to me. So I fight against that. And anybody
I
in the
don't like
comments,
that.
no, go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, I don't enjoy that at all because I'm not obligated to anybody. Like, again, so okay, if we really break down what family is on like an elementary level, it is people who are connected because somebody had sex. That's it, right? I didn't tell these people to get down. I didn't ask it. They didn't ask me how I felt about it. Like, nobody checked in with me and said, "Hey, do you want to be related to so and so?" Like, so I don't know that I subscribe to this whole like obligation because of family. I like reciprocal, mutually beneficial relationships. That's what I'm about. And I think that when you lean so heavy, and listen, if y'all close to y'all family, I'm not saying don't be close to them. I'm just saying I don't subscribe to I have to be close to you out of obligation, right? Because when you start doing stuff like that, then I still got to keep talking to you even though you beat me up. I still got to keep talking to you even though you asked me for $1,000. I gave you 1,000 and said, "Hey, only pay back 500," and you didn't pay that back. I still got to keep talking to you because them people had sex and we related. Like, I just don't. I just
jive
don't.
with that.
Yeah.
Right. So to kind of continue a little bit, and then we'll move on about those roles and the expectations, because you hit the nail on the head with that example, and the dynamics of that. So what would you say are the key? If you had to put them in a word, or I'll say what I think they are, and then you can say no, Eric, or add to it or cut them down. So like emotional support, companionship, and mutual respect. I think we've mentioned those throughout the conversations. So if anyone's watching and listening, those are some key factors to kind of really look at what you should expect out of any relationship. You'd want to say it may be compounded by family. I went into this thinking that, but Doc has definitely said, because no one had a discussion with these people having sex and I didn't have anything to do with it. And now I'm connected to you by DNA. There's no added or elevated obligation or expectation that I should be obligated to you. So definitely, I lean into that a little bit. Just that came through experience, like, man, because I have family members that I held in a certain position of mind, and then but the treatment, things that you find out about people over time, that just doesn't gel with your beliefs or your values or your principles, and that had to change. And I think in the past I would have thought, no, that's my brother, so I'm obligated to do a certain thing, even to my own demise. And I think that happens a lot in our community, in many communities, with many people. And if they watch this show, I'm telling you, let yourself off the hook, man. You should really get, if you're not getting emotional support, you're not feeling companionship in that, and it's not any mutual respect, then you have no obligation to continue to do that.
So one question that I ask my clients, because I feel like a lot of people struggle with this concept of cutting family off. I'm never saying cut them off, right? Like when I go home, I'm still gonna see my cousins. Like I'm not saying cut them off, but this is the question that I ask. If this person were not your cousin and they did this insert behavior, or if this person was not your brother, or if this person was not your uncle or whoever they are to you, would you tolerate this? The answer is always no. So why then do we tolerate it because of family? And I feel like I can only speak for like being black in the South, because that's my experience. But family is like, it's like a cult. Like we just got to accept everything because we're family, and like this level of acceptance and tolerance that we have to show people, I just don't.
No, that's deeper too, Doc, when you say that, because you don't even realize you take that into every relation. Like even when you go into the workplace, you'll let people drag you, and you won't stand up for yourself, speak up to yourself, because you're like, well, this is my job, or this is the group I'm with, and you'll let people do anything, and that is unacceptable. And I think you hit the nail on the head with that. So everybody need to take that and put that in their pocket, deposit it wherever they're going to deposit it, and keep that one. That's a good one, Doc.
Let's do the comments, and then we'll move on to what you
absolutely got. Let's do that. Mr. J. Gilliard. Mr. See that J stands for Jeff. See that guy in the picture? He can cook. So y'all put it together. That's Chef Jeff right there. He says, welcome to the comments. Yeah, he is the proprietor and owner of Club Comments. No, he said, I agree with Doc on family. Indeed. And Mr. J. Gilliard says, I also think it's on the parents that try to force the obligation of family on their children.
Yeah, because that's where that concept comes from. It's like, okay, because so I can talk about my family. So when my mama was growing up, she told me that her grandmother would tell her, like, you don't got to worry about no friends. You got cousins. You got family. So that's in her. And you can tell, like, her generation, they like, oh, we this family. And, like, people don't even be right, but they like family. And I be like,
people don't even be right. They don't be right. They be 100% in the wrong, atrocious. And the silence that would go on. I mean, things that are really bad. You know what I mean? That have been done, and they want to sweep it under the rug. But that's Uncle so and so, or that's your brother, that's your sister. I don't care. We don't care.
At all.
We don't care. No, I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, chill out with that. And then, some of the other expectations that I think will help in that circumstance to identify. And I would want someone to look at and analyze within the relationships they have, whether they're friendships or whether they're family. Like clear communication and an understanding of one another's needs. Like if your needs are not necessarily being met, but if no one even wants to hear about what your need is, I think, or what you're expecting from the relationship, that can help prevent like the misunderstandings and conflicts and kind of solve those circumstances. Because I think that blinded commitment of obligation because of blood or because they were a friend and may have helped you kind of puts you in a bad position. And then the nature of roles and expectations with those relationships, like acknowledging that and this is the key thing. What are your thoughts on, or your comments, Doc, on acknowledging that relationships change over time?
I think all relationships change over time, and I think the person who's doing the change quicker is responsible for announcing the change.
Oh, now, Doc, say more about that. I've been waiting for the moment I done got it in.
You know what? So many people be like ready to say that to me. They be like, "Oh, Todd, say more about that. Say that."
Yes.
Yeah,
I can't wait till I get my T-shirt either.
Okay, it's coming for real. So, okay, in a relationship, platonic, romantic, friendship, whatever, there is a rate of change because individuals change, they evolve, and they grow. The person who is doing the more radical changing is responsible for making the announcement. So let me give you an example. I just had a session about this earlier today. So there's a couple and their definition of clean has now changed. Well, the guy is perfectly fine with how everything is. The woman is like, you filthy pig. And he's like, I'm not necessarily doing anything different. She just seems a little bit more irritated. So through some digging, comes to find out she think he nasty. So my question to her was, when did you decide that he was nasty? She's like, about 6 months ago. So her rate of change is quicker. She wants a cleaner house. Well, you got to say something.
All right.
Because you're the one, you changing the game. So you're responsible for saying, hey, I know that we've kind of been filthy together. I no longer want to be filthy. Let's clean up.
That's good, Doc. And to me, that's interesting, kind of case study level, because I'm like, if you mind me asking how long the relationship has been for?
I think 5 years.
Wow. So I'm just curious on what, over that 5-year period, maybe how long has that thought been held and not communicated?
6
And then
months.
and then I wonder what changed to that now because I know a renewal of the mind, will change your perspective and your perception of things that once weren't visible. You can look at the same thing, but you will see it and receive it differently. So it's kind of interesting. And I think if we want to take away from this, from our viewers, is that know that can happen. And if that is you, as Doc said, then you're really responsible for voicing that change.
I think it's because you don't know what you don't know until you're exposed to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you say renewal of the mind, I say exposure, right?
Okay.
Like, I don't know that this is not clean until I went over so-and-so house and I saw how she washed her hands or cleaned her counter or whatever she did. And I'm like, oh, we don't do that at my house. Let me, whatever. And so I think now she had a renewal of her mind and she decided that this is nasty. But it's like she didn't know what she didn't know. And
no,
I mean,
that's a great point.
To clean off their counters. That was just an example off the top of my head. And she said, like, I didn't realize what I was doing was wrong. And now that I know, he's not getting on board.
No, that's a great point.
But he's not getting on board because you didn't say anything. You have to say something.
Yeah, definitely don't want to confuse anyone and be like it's this magical, but it does come by because, of course, I talk about balance a lot. So there's a logic involved, and then there's a level of faith, I would say, or a spiritual, more, a deeper, Mr. Brother Rock, Allah, Yah, the Most High type of transformations that can happen. But that's in junction with real world tangible adjustments in life and being exposed to a difference when, as you said perfectly, when you don't know what you don't know. You now have experienced something, say, you know what? And it's usually straightforward. This is better than that. And you know that. And then you can make that transition. So great outline on that. And I think in only thing I could add to that, Doc, was like make it an ongoing negotiation and adjustment, and expect that to be ongoing. And I think you said that because if you're making that adjustment and they say, okay, well, I adjusted and caught up here. Nah, just hold your horses. More adjustment is in tow. More is on the way. And then even in that, I think this is a good segue into resolving those type of conflicts. I think one of the ways you could do that is to get therapy. Get you a very solid, well-rounded, funny, but also serious and capable therapist, and that can also help in those realms. What other thoughts of conflict resolution would you bring into play, Doc?
It's effective communication. That's it. I think it's you got to know what you want, and then you have to know how to articulate what you want, and then you have to have someone who's open and receptive to giving you what it is that you want.
Yeah. Have some empathy, and then I think that may be a whole nother show, just really how to even Some people I think may be wired not to be able to do that. Your narcissist
Not
out
everybody
there.
can. I think some people choose not to.
You say say that again. Everybody can. Most
Everybody can
you think
effectively communicate. People just don't want to.
somebody that's like on a spectrum or something, you think?
Which spectrum? Like autism?
Well, on the what I would say on the neuro spectrum, because you got
Okay,
some people that's autistic and
hold on.
it's obvious, but
And
you got
they know how to communicate though.
okay,
So
okay,
I feel so hold on. Let me be clear. So autism happens on a spectrum. I am not talking about severe autism, no speech,
yeah, me neither,
developmentally
yeah, yeah,
delayed. I'm not talking
yeah,
about that. But if you're talking about a functioning adult who has a job that has autism, yes, they know how to communicate. You may not like how they're communicating because they can be very direct, they can be very crisp. And then
that's
some of
okay,
them like avoid eye contact and they
yeah.
talk around it. And I see, I don't like all that. Just hit me with it. Give me the direct. I
But
don't
see,
mind.
that's what I'm saying, Doc. You gotta.
But
I
they
feel like
can
you,
still communicate. And if you're in relationship with them, then you probably know that they're autistic and you just have to adjust your expectations.
and I'm gonna tell you to have all the answers, man. Come on, man. I thought I had a window. She was like, no,
Nope.
no, it's all good. So to round that up, definitely, I think the importance of addressing the conflicts
Yeah.
constructively with effective communication, one of my favorite things. Yeah, I'll hit you in the face with that because I'm like, well, I told you. How? Because you was walking around being silent, stomping, slamming cabinets,
That's
breaking
something.
glass, whatever. And I think the constant communication, making sure that you effectively communicate, um, know that you have to have a level of empathy and compromise, and everybody can effectively communicate because Doc just told us. And then to prevent, I think that prevents resentment and it'll actually strengthen the relationship as you go through that, which to me is really the lifeblood of relationship. It's those experiences and getting over difficult things and still being in relation with someone. Um, and then there's a balance in that, Doc, about when we're in relationships, even the tightest of those. And this will be interesting because when we talk about the relationships with children and parents and family versus friends, about the boundaries and the autonomy that I think that comes into play. Um, how significant is it setting those boundaries and respecting the autonomy in both friendships and family relationships?
It's everything. And I think boundaries gets a bad word. I
What's
think
the
people
word?
I think boundaries
Okay.
people are like, oh, scary, like somebody gonna do something to me. And I don't really think boundaries is scary. I think boundaries are wonderful. I think that boundaries are just like rules of operation and they just kind of like give me a heads up of how we're gonna operate in this relationship.
Beautiful.
So how
Beautifully
important
stated.
are they? I think they're very important because I don't want to overstep your boundaries and I think it's cool. Like I'm just operating how I operate and you are like this person is doing too much. I don't want to be their friend no more. But had you just told me, hey, when you come to my house, sit down, don't walk around. I don't like all that. Then I'd have came to your house and sat down. You know what I'm saying? Or like whatever the issue was. So
Doc
when we
said you came
don't,
around and walked around.
just whatever.
Doc, have
So
you heard somebody that broke up, ended a friendship because they came in my house and they kept walking around?
So people don't like that. Like older people, they don't like when you come in their house and just
Okay.
like freelance. Like come
Hey,
in and sit down.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I find it weird when people walk around my house, but I don't. It doesn't bother me. I just be like, I wonder how old their
No,
mama is.
yeah, depending on how long you've known them, how comfortable you may be with it. Does that have a bearing on that? Because it's like, yeah, he's a good friend, but what, man? Where you going? You know what I'm saying? Because
Right,
people
right.
have,
But I think you have to say that because
yeah,
we're all living different experiences. All our parents and stuff are different. So I know at my daddy's house, he don't like you to open the refrigerator. Like, don't go in his refrigerator. Like, so Like that, like sends him over the edge.
Yeah, because
Um,
I think that's because what some people may deem as just regular, not serious, someone like that's more intimate. You in my refrigerator or you in my bedroom. Like I came up at a
I don't
time
think
period where you don't go into people's bedrooms. You know what I mean? If it ain't your bedroom, you don't go into people's bedroom freely or openly.
yeah,
You know what I
without
mean?
invitation. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
not
yeah.
just talking about I don't either.
Wait,
He
hold
wants
on.
that
I'm sorry.
grumpy old man so bad.
Mr. J,
He's talking about he don't eat,
listen,
but he don't like nobody going to the refrigerator.
absolutely with
Stop
that.
opening the refrigerator.
I don't even know. That might be an inside joke. Mr. J. Gilly said, "Stop over the refrigerator every 30 minutes." Yeah,
Funny.
that's somebody that's hungry. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change. If it wasn't in there before, it ain't
Ooh,
gonna be
that's
nothing
my
in there
daddy.
magically now.
Ooh, that is my daddy. Like nothing just appeared. But
Ah,
anyway, so my point was boundaries are great because if I come to your house and I'm thirsty and I go get some water and you live in a house where can't nobody open your refrigerator, you don't want me at your house no more. You know what I mean? So just tell me, hey, I don't like this. Please don't do this when you come to my home. And I will bring my own cup with me. You will never have to worry about it. You know what I mean? So
right,
boundaries in relationships and stating those boundaries and being upfront about it so that people get to decide, hey, I think it's weird that you think I can't open your refrigerator. I want to be your friend no more. Cool. We could just part ways. We don't have to stick around and try like grit our teeth and bear it. So yes, I think the boundaries are super important.
man. I think this is kind of highlighting some common themes of how we just take that everywhere we go, where we just grit our teeth and it's almost like we let it get to a boiling point before we address anything. And whenever you let that happen, you end up destroying more than you can correct, and then even enrich the relationship. And it's sad. I've seen that more often than not. So yeah, definitely great advice, Doc. Um, Now relationships, how
Hold
we
on, can you see the
function. Oh,
comment?
I didn't. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. Oh, look good there. Look good there.
Oh, hold on, we missed this one. He said, right, Eric.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now there we go. Come
Yeah,
on.
my baby bird right there. Alexis Butler says, yeah, I don't even play with my grandfather like that.
See? Close the refrigerator door.
Yeah, close it, close it, close it. Hey guys. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, hey.
All
Oh
right,
yeah, they
go
in
ahead.
there. They're in there roaming the centers.
Roman and chats.
um and this so Doc, this is I may be jumping on it early, but I wanted to make sure we had an opportunity to talk about it in depth. Like when we're talking about relationships, friendships, family, we are. I can't help it. I got to sing a little bit, y'all. The
I'm cool with
impact
that.
on our mental health, you know, the impact of friendships and family relationships on mental health, and like your well being, the benefits of it, the nuances. So, what are some of the things that you would say are that you would highlight most about our friendships and our relationships and how they can have an impact on our mental health?
You need good people around you and people that care about you so that it does not have a negative impact on your mental health.
Mhm.
Because friends, real friends, can boost your mental health. It's a sense of community. Y'all gonna be out doing, hanging out, doing stuff. You're gonna get your little endorphins boosted because y'all going to the gym, going to brunch, going wherever
Right.
y'all going. So that's gonna be fun. Your net worth can increase because they're your friends. So when they hear of opportunities, they'll be like, "Hey, let me plug my homegirl. Hey, I know somebody." So I think making sure that you have good people around you so that the impact on you is positive. Because if you got a bunch of moochers and a bunch of people who are like out for themselves, not checking on you, not being not reciprocating what you're giving them, then yeah, you're gonna start questioning yourself. You're gonna start having self-doubt. You're gonna start feeling like, well, I can't trust nobody because this been my best friend since I was 2. And if she do me like this, then everybody else will. So it's the quality of people that determines the impact on your mental health.
100%. I'm gonna give a little tidbit. You really got to be really I would challenge anyone to be very specific about the friends that you have. And I think it starts with really identifying what kind of person do you want to be, and don't associate with yourself with anyone who doesn't operate in those ways.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard all of the little monikers about that. One bad apple will ruin the bunch, or birds of a feather flock together. And you'll see they'll say if it's five broke friends, and if you got five broke friends, you're the sixth one, and things of that nature. And there's actual scientific study and data that kind of points to that. And to get everybody's attention, listen, if you want to be wealthy, you want to be rich, you want to have a lot of money, be around people who are rich, who are wealthy, and who have a lot of money. If you hang around three people who are rich, wealthy, and have a lot of money, then you'll be the fourth one. And it typically happens like that. And Doc hit the nail on the head with saying and that's how it happens. It's not like by osmosis you just get their business savvy, or you also come up with this great idea. Those opportunities that they have been a part of or they know of, they're going to bring their friends in. And I live by I have a saying: if it's not with me, it's going to be a Vidal Sassoon situation. If you don't look good, then I don't look good. And I would hope that any friends or relationships that I have, be it family or friends, excuse me, y'all, then it needs to be reciprocated in that way. So I'm looking dead in the camera, and I'm saying, if you are family and friends with someone, you rich, they're capable of understanding, learning, and you ain't hooked them up and gave them the game, I'm telling them they need to reevaluate that whole situation. I just want to say that. Yeah, be mean about it. Be like, what kind of relationship is this? And how you a millionaire and I'm not? How did you do it? Have you given me any game? And if they come back and say, well, you didn't ask me, I'm saying that's an issue. Because if I have this thought that if I have real friends, people I care about, if I come across something good, you want to share it with those that you care about or that you love. So don't say you love me. Don't say you for me. And you ain't giving me you ain't telling me where the good's at. What you think, Doc?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, come on, tear it up.
I'm thinking I'm with you, but then maybe I'm not. Because if I got a friend that's a millionaire and I know my friend is a millionaire, I'm asking, hey, how'd you get here? What's going on? Teach me the game goes. Like, I'm asking. So it would never be a situation where you're a millionaire and I'm not, and I didn't ask. And so I kind of feel like if I'm a millionaire and you're not, and you didn't ask, maybe you don't have a desire to be a millionaire. Maybe they think that. Maybe you didn't show any initiative because they didn't become a millionaire by doing nothing.
Okay. Let me.
Okay, hold on, because
Okay,
she didn't see me last time. Hold on.
Alexis Bella said, I'm sorry, this is very unrelated. It's okay. Safe place. But the hair color is giving. Doc, love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Look, she grabbed that one and was like, hold on, wait a minute.
Stop the show. My good sis got something to say, honey.
I love it. Y'all excuse me. I guess that got me choked up a little bit. But anyway. Hold on.
You.
Come on with the next one. Come on with the next comment.
Okay,
absolutely.
Don't gas me.
Will not be topped. Will not be topped. Can't be topped. Won't let nobody top it. Mr. J. say, yes, it is. So this is the thing, Doc. This is the thing, Doc. People don't become a millionaire. I mean, unless you hit the lottery or you got an inheritance or something like that. But usually it's different deals, different opportunities, different things that come along the way. And if you're not pulling a person's coattail as they go along the way too, it's like, in some circumstances, you can be, it can be a family member or a friend, and y'all may live apart, or there may be a couple of years of separation, or y'all may be close, but if they kind of already, it's like, wait a minute, you ain't catch me in the beginnings of this to give me the game, or
Mm-hmm.
then you don't even know that that's the track that they're on, or that's what they're doing. You don't realize it until boom, they done this, and be like, oh man, how did you do that? Well, back 2 years ago, or back 3 years ago, I did ABCXYZ. Boom, I couldn't put in, you know what I'm saying? You ain't tell me about that stock or whatever, because maybe that's not my realm. Let me know so I can then become interested in a topic or opportunities. I'm privy to certain information, right? When
Right.
I'll give you a real world example. When I went first to volunteer, just to, I wanted to go move chairs and tables with the Empower series. So when I went, I'm there, and I'm just, I'm at the event, and they're talking about these financial literacy programs and agencies that I had no idea about, but when I found out people that would be within my family or friend circle who could benefit from this, I
Mm-hmm.
went to them. They ain't asked me, because I ran into the pool, the fountain of youth, right? So I would go back and let them know, because it was nothing tangible that they could see upon me to know
Mm-hmm.
that I now had that knowledge. If I don't know that you know it, I can't
I don't know
ask you
that.
about it. Say, yeah, I can't,
Okay.
I don't know why you didn't tell me that there was this. You have found out that the IPO for this company is about to drop, because you overheard it, or the industry you're in. Hey man, if you got like 5K, you need to go put it in this.
Mm-hmm.
You go put it in there, let it pop, and then I see it and say, man, how did you get that? Well, 2 years ago, I put 5K in this, because this company that was about to hit this IPO and it's gonna blow up. Why you ain't holler at me?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean in those circumstances. So
Now
it's
that
like,
makes sense. I'm with you.
yeah, yeah. Because no, if of course, if I see you one day and then you come back and I'm like, this cat 20 pounds lighter after 2 weeks. What did you do? Of course, I'm gonna ask, and you're absolutely correct. And I would say there's a viewers that be like, well, I don't want to ask nobody for nothing. You better ask.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Man, come on, man. No great accomplishments ever. No great feat is ever accomplished alone. Just not done. Dr. George C. Frazier. Go look him up. He'll talk real to you. You'll learn something. I had the blessing of meeting him in person, because he spoke it at the Empower series. Man, dropped so much game. I was like, what? But I share with everybody that I run with. Hey, man, if there's something you're interested in. Now they may say no, and like you, to your point, they may not want to. They didn't think so. They don't want it if they don't ask. But I'm gonna put it out there. So Alexis Butler says, I'm putting my people on regardless. If they ask, or I'm sorry, I didn't.
My bad.
Oh, okay. She said, I agree though. If you're a millionaire, why not bring your people with you? She said, I'm putting my people on regardless if they ask or not. Now, if they don't put it to work, they can't say I left them behind. And that's real. It's real. And I don't want to just put it all on the person who's making the moves. If you see moves are being made and you
Say
see those
something.
advancements, you have to say something. It is
Now,
your
see, that's I wanted
responsibility
that too.
to say
Yeah.
that, and just say, hey, what steps do I need to take? And then more importantly, so get your ego out the way, take your pride and sit it on the side, and go ask for the information.
Yeah.
I'm grown, and I've been mentored by people younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
I saw their skill, I saw
Mm-hmm.
their wherewithal and their value, and I say, hey man, I appreciate that. I'm giving you flies. You're good at that. Hey, what do you do to get that? How do you do that? And then, of course, I make it my own, but I ask for that mentorship. I've done it and will do it until, if someone has what I'm looking for, I'm going to find a way that I can help them and pour into them. And then hopefully, and then most likely when you do that, a person will pour back into you. And that in itself becomes a relationship. And that's, I think, a good model of how relationships should operate. Alexis Butler says, I keep forgetting I'm typing on a podcast and not to my homies. My apologies. No, you
We
good.
actually love the comments. No apologies
Absolutely.
here. No, we do not accept.
Absolutely. Alexis Butler says, absolutely, I agree. That's why I said earlier in the show, I'm like, yeah, we may come across a little more academic and square, but no, man, we can roll when it's time. Don't get it twisted, man. I'm a double-edged sword and pointy on the end. I'm gonna cut you both ways. You hear me? From the block to the boardroom, I'm gonna eat. I'm Atlantic, man. I'm cold, deep, and choppy. Come on now. Biggest diamond ever found on land. What they gonna do? Mr. J. Gilliard said, we all homies on here. Absolutely. See what I'm talking about? That's my partner. That's my partner right there.
My partner, ma'am.
Yeah. We're having a good time. And hey, to the viewers, I'm telling you, man, it really is a community. There's nothing to be, regardless of where you're absolutely, Mr. J. Gilliard. And what I want to tell the community, hey man, definitely don't be afraid to comment. Don't be afraid to, on Instagram, holla at Latoya the therapist. Man, ask questions. Tell us some things you want to talk about. All of those things. And with Facebook, if you go to Perspective, our group, you can definitely send me messages there or on Messenger. Hey man, we will get involved with you, and there's nothing to be embarrassed about. I want to see people thrive in every area of their lives. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about that. And as we move to kind of wrapping up when we're talking about relationships, because this right here, what we're doing, we're establishing relationship with you,
Right.
and we would like for it to be reciprocated. Not begging for your likes, but if you like what you hear, you feel like something is liking you, make you think a little different. Bit. Okay, Doc said we begging a little bit, so we begging.
Just a touch. I mean, we not like crying, like Shotty come back begging, but we, little Keith Sweat begging.
Wait, Doc, we not doing what? We not.
We're not crying and snotting like come back to me, Shotty begging, but like a little sophisticated Keith Sweat begging. Just hit the like button.
Baby, come back to me.
See, I'm a special. Okay.
I was waiting for it, Doc. That's our thing, man. Well, come on, man. We're gonna hit a tune.
But not for real, because likes, comments, shares, all of that matters in this space. Y'all here with us, y'all kicking, y'all vibing, and I already know why y'all not commenting because you know what I'm saying. You just playing it and you cleaning up and you washing your dishes because it's dinner time or whatever. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at it. You got your kids in the bathtub.
Right. So like, I'm listening. What, me listening ain't enough? Yeah.
As soon as you get little JJ in
Talk
the
about
bed, hit that like button for me, please.
I love it. And I know we ain't got a lot of time left.
You gotta read the comment.
Hold on. Jackie say we not grabbing the air begging.
Now we it's a little sophisticated bag.
Alexis Butler says, I'm demanding go like this video. Absolutely. That's my bird, man.
She said she wasn't playing, y'all.
She wasn't playing. Joking. How do they say it? It said joking, not joking. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, not sorry. There you go. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah. No, we appreciate y'all definitely. And I mean, and they're not just saying that, but really appreciate it. The support goes a very long way. The interaction goes a long way. And I said this earlier in the show, you really have to understand that your experience, you are unique. You carry a lot of value. Mm-hmm. You're speaking about your experiences. You sharing your knowledge helps in many ways. Whether you know it, every day there's something you do, the way you handle a circumstance, you're probably inspiring someone, helping someone, and you'll never know. And this is just another vehicle for you to do it. Now, personally, in my feeling, that is a universal mark of us as people. to help other people. Some do it better, some don't. Some been through some things and they just can't find themselves to do it. And that's really what we do here on Perspective. Again, is we really want to help each other. So we're not trying to shy away from that, or saying that freely and openly. And if our begging helps you get there, then you know what I'm saying. My pride, I sit it over to the side for a second and I grab at the air, as Mr. J. Gill said. You know,
It was in an R&B video.
But I do want to bring this up about relationships because the culture and society definitely influences how we shape our perceptions and expectations when it comes to friendships, to friends and family relationships. So like express the way that we may express affection, our communication styles, make sure it's effective, and the family structures. Because now we think about society and our culture, it's in a different place. We had a whole sitcom about you got families where they're same-sex uncles and aunts and same-sex parents, and so there are a lot of factors that impact.
What was the name of that?
I don't know. Should we? You know what I'm saying?
You can tell me later.
Modern Family.
I was about to say, was they this or this?
I almost didn't want to mention it because you know what I'm saying, if you ain't gonna cut a check, then cut it out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get nobody no free love, but I ain't even tripping.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, they did have a lot going on that show.
Yeah, they did. They had a lot going on. So
and that's a good example. Married somebody like super young. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah. So that has an impact on how individuals work. So our society and our culture. So we do want to emphasize. You got to look at that, and Doc mentioned this earlier in the show. Like, you really have to know what you want, and when we say that, like, you really have to know who you want to be, how you want to be, how your relationships are going to be, and be honest about the impact or the importance of the cultural sensitivities, right? And is there going to be understanding or not going to be understanding as you navigating, your relationships, whether it's friendships or family.
Right.
Anything on that, Doc, on the cultural and societal influences that you feel like impact that? I kind of ate it all up, but
I feel like you did. But let me say this: you don't know what you don't know. So I'm not mad at getting influence from somewhere else. You don't know what you don't know.
Right.
But I think living by something that you saw online is just, don't do that. Because them people got more access, more resources than you, and it'll leave you depressed. Expecting people in your life to meet you on the first date and fly you first class to Miami or Dubai is crazy. Stop doing that. And like, unless you one of those girls that like meet the NFL players and stuff like that, then maybe that's not crazy, but that ain't all of us. So stop. Don't let it influence you to the point that you get ridiculous. Have standards, have expectations, blah, blah, blah. But come on, let's not be ridiculous.
And we got to be, and we know when it comes to social media, it's not always realistic.
Exactly.
So definitely stay plugged in to reality, and the things you may be seeing and you're setting your whole life about are not even really real. And you have this false set of expectations. You're following someone's moves, actions, mindset. They're showing you the results, but those are not real results, right? So as you're maneuvering through operating within the relationships you have, be it friends or family, stay rooted in reality, see those things as though they are, and move accordingly. Accordingly.
I agree with that. That was good.
Yeah, that was good stuff. And at the end, just hoping we really hope that this discussion helps someone expose some different things. And we do take that serious. I feel like we may have discussions, and now that gives people some information and foundation, or maybe even the strength to have a conversation, to bring it up to someone else. We do proclaim and hope. I can't speak for Doc. I mean, she'll always clear it up if she don't agree. One thing I love about it. But I would hope it would bring unity and strengthen your relationships, friends and with family. But if it comes to the conclusion that if you remove yourself from circumstances that are not, I don't even want to say beneficial, but not healthy for you, then I'm happy about that too. I'm gonna keep it, I'm gonna keep it a bill, a buck, and 100. You got to have a little bit of that's self care to me. It's not always getting you, going on vacations or getting massages and things of that nature, but definitely taking care of the wholeness of yourself, how you're treated, how you're handled, and how you're respected and appreciated. So that's my final wrap on that. And Doc, I'll let you have the last word.
Okay, so Mrs. Jaguar said, great show tonight. Thank you. I would like to say, be aware of what your needs are, and when they are not being met, express that. And if they are still not being met, it may be time to check out. And with that, I thank you so much for stopping by Perspective. We will do this again next week. Y'all be safe, be blessed. We out.
Bye.